All right, David Bossie on the short list to be President Trump's next chief of staff. That's the talk. So let's bring in David Bossie right now, author of Trump's Enemies. He's also a Fox News contributor. David, what's your reaction?
Well, Brian, it's a humbling thing to even be on a list. Whether people take that list seriously or whether that's actually a serious list of people that the president's considering, I have no idea. But the folks on it are all friends of mine. The president is going to do an incredibly methodical job, just like he always does, in figuring out who best serves him and what the next 2 years looks like. And therefore, I know that the president's going to pick the right person no matter who it is.
Well, I will say this. One thing is there's a perfect chief of staff for every president. Do you feel as though you have had the chemistry with this president? You understand him in times of pressure and you understand the politics of it. Do you feel you have that chemistry?
Well, I've certainly known the president a long, long time. Long before he was a candidate, I've had the pleasure of knowing him. I do feel I understand the movement that elected him. And having been a conservative leader in this town for a long time, I have had my finger on the pulse. And Donald Trump carried the day. He got elected. He understood better than any Republican in 2015 and 16 what was going on, the movement in America. And he led it. And
right.
So yes, do I understand this president? Absolutely. I understand his priorities, and I have been. And I've been trying to help him with those from the outside. There's no question about it.
And you're having lunch with him on Friday, right?
Well, you know what? Corey and I are having lunch with the president on Friday. That's been reported, yes.
Hey, okay, we'll confirm it. Would you confirm that what you'll be eating? No, just
look.
You're going to be there Friday.
It'll be something good.
All right, that'll be good. Now, David, have you ever persuaded the president to do something?
Look, we were running, the president was a candidate when I worked for him and in the transition. The president was the principal and somebody that we all worked with. Look, we say in our first book about the campaign that the president was responsible for winning 99.9% was him. 0.01% was the staff, all of us together. And that's true. It was a team. It was a tremendous team, and we all worked cohesively together to help the president in the way, any way we could.
David, if you were offered the job Friday after lunch, if he says, Corey, can you leave the room? I need to speak to David. He says, I need you to be chief of staff. What would you say?
Well, first, it would be hard to get Corey out of the room.
I know that.
And secondly, I don't foresee that happening. But look, this president deserves somebody who's going to be totally committed to the future of what this next 2 years of his presidency is about. A political, legislative, and communication strategic person who can come in here and help him with his 2020 reelect, as well as somebody who will be able to handle what is this subpoena cannon, somebody who's going to understand what the House is going to do to him and the White House staff in trying to drag them into a legal process and an investigative process that will slow down the success of this White House. Somebody who can stop that from happening.
And David, my hunch is you feel you're that guy, and that is on your resume.